Have you ever let something slide just to keep the peace, but felt like you were losing a part of yourself every time? Once you reach your late 60s or early 70s, you begin to see life with different eyes. You've raised children, you've sacrificed, endured, and supported others more times than you can count. And now, this season of your life, it belongs to you. That doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop tolerating what doesn't serve your peace, your worth, or your well-being. In this video, we're going to walk through 5 things no one over 65 should put up with. Not from strangers, not from acquaintances, and not even from family, because your time is valuable, your energy is sacred, and your life is far too important to be wasted on people or behaviors that drain you. Stick around until the very end, because the final point is something many older adults never even realize they're tolerating until it's quietly robbed them of years of peace. Now, let's get started. Number 1. Guilt-driven financial pressure. One of the most painful traps many older adults fall into is feeling obligated to give away their financial security out of guilt, not generosity. Especially when it comes to family, it often starts with a well-meaning request. A grandchild needs help with college tuition. A son or daughter is short on their mortgage. A relative wants to borrow money to start a business. And before you know it, you've said yes, not because you can afford to, but because saying no would make you feel like a bad parent, or, worse, a selfish one. Here's the hard truth. At this stage in life, your financial stability must come first. You've spent decades working, saving, sacrificing. The money you have now isn't just numbers in an account. It's peace of mind. It's the ability to cover medical bills. It's the freedom to age with dignity. And it's the safety net that ensures you're not dependent on others. In your later years, when that gets chipped away, even a little at a time, your entire sense of control can unravel. The emotional pressure is real. People don't always ask outright. Sometimes it's subtle. A comment like, "I don't know what I'll do if I can't get help," or it's laced with guilt, "You've got everything you need, right?" And if you're a parent or grandparent, you feel the weight of wanting to fix things, to protect, to be the hero. But here's the thing, your worth is not measured by how much you give, especially when that giving comes at the cost of your own well-being. I once spoke with Carol, a 74-year-old widow, who drained half her savings helping her daughter through a divorce. She paid for legal fees, childcare, even groceries for over a year. Carol thought she was doing the right thing, but when her own roof needed repairs and her prescriptions increased in cost, she realized she couldn't cover them. Her daughter, though grateful, had moved on, and Carol was left stressed and scrambling. That's not generosity, that's sacrifice without support. There's a big difference between helping and enabling. Helping comes from a place of strength. It's measured, thoughtful, and sustainable. Enabling, on the other hand, slowly drains you financially, emotionally, and spiritually. And when the people around you start expecting handouts rather than appreciating help, it's time to reevaluate, especially if they begin to act distant, cold, or even resentful when you say, "So here's what you should remember. You have the right to protect your money without apology." You can say, "I wish I could help more, but I have to make sure I'm secure first." You can offer advice, encouragement, or even small gestures that don't put your safety at risk. And if someone tries to shame you for that, that's their burden to carry, not yours. Number 2. Guilt tripping and emotional manipulation. One of the most toxic things older adults often tolerate, especially from family, is guilt. It's subtle, persistent, and it disguises itself as love. "I guess you don't care about us anymore. We really needed you, but you're always busy now. After all we've done for you, this is how you repay us." They're weapons dressed in affection, and if you're not careful, they can eat away at your self-worth without you even noticing. By the time we hit our late 60s or 70s, we've learned that love isn't supposed to feel like pressure. True connection is rooted in respect, not obligation. Yet some people, family included, lean into emotional manipulation when they feel entitled to your presence, your time, or your compliance. They may not even be aware they're doing it, but the effect on you is real. When guilt is used as a lever, it silently shifts your boundaries. Suddenly, you're saying yes when you want to say no. You're showing up even when you're tired, giving more even when your cup is empty. And the worst part, you start feeling like the selfish one for even thinking about your own needs. Let me tell you about Susan, a 72-year-old woman I met at a community center. Her daughter often called at the last minute asking for help with errands, babysitting or emotional support, then sighed dramatically if Susan hesitated. "She makes me feel like I'm letting her down just for needing a break," Susan said. "But I raised my kids. I love them, but I'm not their safety net anymore." That moment of clarity changed everything for Susan. She realized that setting limits wasn't a betrayal of her family, it was an act of self-love. She started answering the phone with calm clarity. "I can't today, but I'm happy to help Thursday," or "I need rest today. Please understand." To her surprise, her daughter eventually adapted. The relationship didn't crumble, it became healthier. You are not required to bend yourself into knots to prove your love. Saying no doesn't mean you care any less, it means you're honoring your emotional bandwidth, your health, and your peace. And when someone consistently makes you feel guilty for taking care of yourself, it's time to take a closer look at that dynamic. Remember this: anyone who truly loves you will never want you to suffer for their comfort. Love isn't measured by sacrifice, it's measured by mutual respect. So, the next time someone tries to make you feel guilty for choosing yourself, pause and remind yourself, you're not here to earn love by enduring guilt. You've already earned your peace. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any video. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. You've earned the right to live your time as your time. Yet one of the most common and overlooked things older adults tolerate, often without realizing it, is having their time treated as if it doesn't matter. It can start small. A family member drops by unannounced. A neighbor expects you to wait around for their schedule. Someone assumes you're free just because you're retired. But make no mistake, this is a form of disrespect, and over time, it chips away at your sense of control. When others disregard your schedule, your routines, your energy, they're sending a silent message. Your time isn't as important as mine. That may not be their intention, but intention doesn't erase impact. Your days are valuable. They're not fillers for someone else's to-do list. And if you've worked your whole life to finally have some peace, some rhythm, some joy, why let someone else hijack that? Here's the heart of the issue. Many people assume that aging means availability, that if you're no longer working full-time or if the kids are grown, you must be sitting around waiting for something to do. But that assumption is wildly off base. In reality, this stage of life is often the first time you get to design your days on your own terms. And just because you're gracious with your time doesn't mean it's up for grabs. Let me tell you about George, a 78-year-old who volunteers at a local food pantry twice. His son once called and asked, "Can you skip your volunteer shift and help me move some furniture?" George almost said yes out of habit, out of guilt, out of love. But instead he paused and replied, "I made a commitment, and those folks count on me. Let's find another time." It was a turning point, not just for George, but for his son. It showed that George's time wasn't just flexible, it was his. Protecting your time isn't selfish. It's a quiet act of dignity. It tells the world and yourself that your life still has structure, purpose, and rhythm. Whether it's your morning walk, your puzzle time, your garden, or simply your afternoon rest, it matters. And if someone constantly interrupts it, expects you to adjust, or makes you feel guilty for setting boundaries, it's not kindness they're taking advantage of, it's you. So don't let anyone, not even those closest to you, act like your time is disposable. Say it with confidence. "I'm not available right now. You don't owe anyone a full explanation. Your independence is a treasure, and your schedule deserves respect. The more you protect it, the more others will learn to honor it. Number 4. Disrespect toward your time. After 65, your time becomes more valuable than ever, not because it's limited, but because you finally earned the right to spend it on your terms. Yet, far too many older adults allow others to treat their time as if it's expendable. Family members assume you're always available. People expect you to wait, accommodate, or rearrange your day without notice. And sometimes, without even realizing it, you begin to accept this as normal. But let me be clear, it's not. Happy, self-assured people in their 60s, 70s, and beyond understand that honoring their time is one of the strongest forms of self-respect. They don't allow others to routinely show up late, cancel last minute, or overstay their welcome just because you're retired now. They know that even if their calendar isn't full of meetings or deadlines, it's still full of meaning, whether that means a slow morning with coffee, a walk in the park, or just a peaceful moment to themselves. People often forget that emotional wear and tear happens when your schedule is constantly disrupted. When someone assumes you're just home anyway, it can feel like your priorities don't matter. Over time, this quiet pattern of being placed last, especially by family, can lead to resentment, exhaustion, and even sadness. Not because you want control, but because you deserve consideration. I remember speaking with a man named Arthur, 77, who shared that his adult children often dropped off their kids with him without asking. They act like I'm just sitting here waiting for them to hand me something else to do. I love my grandkids, but I also had plans to rest, to read, to visit an old friend. From that moment forward, they called ahead, respected his space, and asked, not assumed. Respecting your time doesn't mean cutting people off. It means teaching them how to treat you. It means saying, I'm available from this time to that time, or I can't today, but I'd love to see you tomorrow. It means understanding that rest is not laziness, that a quiet afternoon is not an open invitation, and that just because you're older doesn't mean your time belongs to everyone else. When you protect your time, you protect your energy, and when you protect your energy, you're able to show up more fully, when and how you choose. Don't wait for someone else to decide your day is important. You decide, and once you do, others will follow. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any video. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. And sadly, it happens most often from the people closest to you: family, adult children, even longtime friends. They might start small, rearranging your furniture without asking, telling you what you should eat, or insisting you need to change doctors because they know better. It sounds like concern, but underneath, it chips away at your independence. The older we get, the more people assume we can't make our own decisions. They begin to treat us like children, not out of cruelty, but out of fear or habit. You don't need to drive anymore. You shouldn't be living alone. Why are you still doing that? These questions might be wrapped in care, but the impact is suffocating. Because no matter your age, you still deserve the basic dignity of deciding how you live your life. Eleanor, 78, told me her son recently began stopping by unannounced and going through her mail. Just making sure you didn't miss a bill, he said. Then he began managing her appointments, changing things without telling her. It got to the point where she felt like a guest in her own home, and when she brought it up, he said she was being ungrateful. That's what happens when boundaries are ignored. Your voice gets drowned out by someone else's version of what they think is best for you. Boundaries aren't walls. They're not about shutting people out. They're about making sure your voice stays strong. When you say no, it should mean something. When you say, I prefer it this way, that choice deserves to be honored. If you want help, you'll ask for it. But no one has the right to force their way into your decisions just because you're older. It's okay to remind people that you're still the head of your own household, that your values haven't suddenly disappeared with age. You have every right to make your own schedule, choose your own meals, keep your own pace. And if someone keeps pushing, keeps disregarding your clear wishes, that's not helpful, that's harmful. So, speak up, set your limits clearly. I appreciate your concern, but I'd like to handle this on my own. Or, I'm happy to talk about this, but I need you to listen to what I want to. Getting older doesn't mean you lose your right to peace, respect, or control over your life. In fact, it's the opposite. These years are a gift, one you've worked hard for. You've earned the right to live without being dismissed, disrespected, or pushed around, even by people who say they love you. Especially by them. That's the heart of it. Your life is still yours. Your voice still matters. And what you allow or refuse to allow can shape the rest of your journey. There's a quiet kind of strength that comes with age. It's not loud or forceful. It's the power to say no more. No more tolerating people who drain your energy. No more making excuses for behavior that leaves you feeling small. No more doubting your instincts when something doesn't sit right. At this stage in life, you don't owe anyone blind obedience. You don't need to accept guilt disguised as love. You have nothing left to prove. You only have life to protect. And that's really what today's message is about. Protecting your space, your time, your heart. Saying, this is what I need, and I'm not going to apologize for it. That's not selfish. That's wisdom. It's what happens when you finally understand that not all relationships are meant to be kept. That some patterns have to be broken so that you can breathe a little easier and sleep a little better at night. When you stop tolerating what drains you, you create space for what restores you. And that can be a beautiful turning point. It can mean deeper friendships, stronger self-respect, and days that feel a little lighter because you finally decided to put yourself first. It's not too late to draw a line, to say, this is where I stand. Whether you're 65 or 85, your life is not a rehearsal. You don't get these years back. Make sure they're spent on people and experiences that fill you, not empty you. So, if anything in this video spoke to you, if something inside said, that's me, then take that as a sign. A sign that it's okay to change, that it's okay to walk away from what no longer fits, and that it's more than okay to expect better, even now. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next